Heard of Honjo Scholarship? Watch till the end because we have got some very good information for those aspiring students. So plus subscribe to get notified. About HIS or Honjo International Scholarship. So it's mainly for foreign students who will attend a graduate school in Japan. And these scholarships are for those students who are struggling to study in different conditions from developing nations, and it also aims in learning advanced technologies and improve much international relationships. Let's look at what Honjo Scholarship is about. So the Honjo International Scholarship is one of the 4 scholarship programs named after the founder, Mr. Masanori Honjo. His work turned Ito En into a $100 billion company, especially in the creative industry. On December 25th, 1996, he used all his individual assets to found the Honjo International Scholarship. Now, let's visit the official site of Honjo International Scholarship. I'm gonna Google it, Honjo Scholarship 2020. So this is the official website of Honjo International Scholarship. Look at the tagline. This tagline depicts the motive of the Japanese government to interact and connect with students of various nationalities, and thereby turning Japan into a hub of cultural education. Now, let's look into more details about Honjo International Scholarship, about the procedures, how you should apply for it, why you should apply for it. That is the important question. Now, when I look at about, I have already explained about what this scholarship is and who the founder is. So let's look upon the purpose of this scholarship, or why is this scholarship there. So the purpose of the scholarship is to address problems like environmental pollution, overpopulation, food shortages, racism, and conflicts between different ethnic groups. So Japan has indeed put forward many programs for students to address certain global issues, and students who are being selected to these international scholarship programs are out to address these social issues. So this is the main motivation or the objective of the Honjo International Scholarship. So why is this important? This is important so as to make the crucial points in your motivation letter, or aka the statement of purpose, which you will be submitting during your application. And most examiners or most of the people who would value your application would look into what you have written in the motivation letter. So if you have mentioned your concern about such issues, then it's already an added point. You could easily get onto the top list of those who have high probability of being selected. Now let's look into scholars. These are the fine details about the scholarship. Like I said at the beginning, there are mainly 4 different programs in this scholarship, but only the first 2 are applicable for foreign students or for international students, and the rest is for Japanese students. So for foreign students, there are 2 scholarships, one during the spring and the other during the fall. Now let's look at this table. This table is of very much significance. Do you know why? Because it actually provides the information of how many students have applied in the previous year and how many of them have actually secured a place in the scholarship. We are taking into consideration only of the first and the second category of the international students. So the total applicants, the first category is 798 and in the second category it's 681. So the total applicants in the year 2019 was over 1,000. But look at the successful candidates. Only 14 of them were successful in the first category, that is during the spring term, and the rest 7 would succeed in the second category. And in total with the current scholars, there are around 37 students in the first category or now presented as scholars, and in the second category there are around in total 10 scholars. So to sum up, there are only 47 students selected in a year for Honjo International Scholarship. Now let's look at some other data. So this web page gives the number of scholars per region, and this is quite important too, because the scholarship may have a criterion to allot a certain number of scholarships depending upon the region to which the applicant belongs to. Wow, it's amazing. Around 304 students are from Asia, and the next is 37 students from Africa, 30 from Europe, 27 from America, and 13 from Central East region. So they have also provided the details of the nationalities of the various students, and there are 6 successful scholars from India. So let's look into another data, that is the number of scholars per academic field. Great news to everyone who's home to scholarships or students with any academic background. So those of you who are belonging to humanities or the sciences or the arts, they are all welcome to apply to this scholarship. 43% of the students who are Honjo scholars belong to the biological sciences, and science and engineering as well as humanities and social sciences share an equal ratio of 24%, while the rest 9% are Honjo scholars belonging to the integrated science and innovative science fields. So guys, you might be wondering, well, this is a highly competitive scholarship. I would only have a bleak opportunity to be successful. But guys, do not lose hope. It doesn't matter if you're getting selected or not. The thing is whether you have applied for it. Once you have applied for it, you would already have gained an experience on how to fill a university application. And it's quite tiring, I know it. But be confident. You may be successful or you may not be. If not, let it go and search for something else. So guys, I would just like to remind you, if you have watched until now and if you are interested in receiving more notifications on prestigious scholarships that would help you fund your studies, or if you are in search of any famous internships, please press the subscribe button below. If you also think that this initiative should be promoted, please do press the like button as well as share it among your friends and colleagues and spread the word of this scholarship. Now let's move on to the scholarship section. Let's focus on foreign students. So scholarship for foreign students. So the main outline of the scholarship is for students who want to study or plan to do a master's degree or a doctoral degree in Japan. Now let's look at the application timeline. So the application period for the fall scholarship has already begun. The deadline for the submission of Honjo scholarship is on May 31st. So guys, for those of you who seem to be eligible for the scholarship, rush for this application because it's going to close on May 31st and you might miss a best opportunity for yourself. And then spring scholarship would be in September to October. So for those of you who could not apply for the fall scholarship, don't worry, there's a spring scholarship for which you could apply in the months from September to October. Now this is the highlighted part about the period and the amount the scholarship gives us. Wow, It's a huge amount. So living in Japan is quite expensive from my experience. So I have been there as a Sakura exchange student, and yeah, I actually haven't paid even a single penny on my travel, nor on my accommodation, or on my food or anything. So for students who are doing their degree for 1 to 2 years, they will get around 200,000 yen per month, and for students who are doing 3 years of degree, they will get around 180,000 yen per month, and for students doing their degree for 4 to 5 years of time, 150,000 yen per month. On an overall scale, I would say that this scholarship is huge, because for a master student, what he receives is 200,000 yen per month, and it's more than enough for him to live in Japan. Definitely, I would encourage anyone who is looking forward for the studies in Japan, especially for the master's and doctoral degrees, to apply for this scholarship as soon as possible. So below this you could see the details of how the application is gonna be evaluated. So they would announce the result of the document screening by 31st of July 2020, and the interview examination will be held at August 2020, and the final result would be announced by 31st of August. Now, let's come on to the most important section on this website, how to apply. So if you've seen that you're eligible, oh sorry, I haven't explained what are the eligibility conditions. So how would you figure out if you're eligible for the scholarship? So let's move down, and there is a section called the application, and there's also a guideline. I would be putting a link to these guidelines in the description below. To check it out and find out whether you are eligible for the scholarship.